Welcome to As It Is, a 30-minute program designed for English learners. I'm Jonathan Evans.
And I'm Ashley Thompson. This program is aimed at English learners, so we speak a little slower and we use words and phrases especially written for people learning English. We also explain words and language rules, all while bringing you stories and information from around the world.
Hundreds of people demonstrated in Vietnam on Sunday against a company they accuse of killing large numbers of fish along the country's central coast. Some demonstrators criticized Vietnam's government for reacting slowly to a major environmental disaster. An official investigation has found no links between the fish kill and a steel plant operating along the coast. The factory belongs to a Taiwanese company, Formosa Plastics. Public anger against the company was evident at the recent demonstration in Hanoi. Protesters carried signs reading, "Formosa destroying the environment is a crime," and "Who poisoned the central region's waters?" Other signs said, "Formosa out of Vietnam," and criticized Vietnamese officials for failing to take action. Demonstrations are rare in Vietnam. Police are usually quick to suppress them. Last weekend, police officers cleared traffic to let demonstrators march near a big lake in the center of Hanoi. Huge numbers of dead fish have appeared at fish farms and along the central coast since April 6th. The dead fish include rare species that live in deep water, far from land. The fish kill has affected 200 kilometers of coastline in 4 provinces, with no known cause. At first, the environmental disaster was thought to have resulted from industrial waste. Some Vietnamese and environmental activists believe it came from the huge steel plant. Last week, Vietnamese officials said they failed to find evidence linking the fish kill to the factory. Tran Hung Ha, the top environmental official, apologized for the government's reaction to the large fish kill. He demanded that the Taiwanese company dig up a waste pipe at the steel project so the government can study the waste. At first, the government said the cause of the fish kill could be a red tide. Red tides happen naturally when algae become so numerous that they discolor coastal waters. The organisms remove oxygen from the water. They can also release toxic substances that may sicken animals and human beings. The government also said that the fish kill could have resulted from chemicals released by humans. A comment by a Formosa official helped to fuel public anger in Vietnam. The official reportedly said that the country had to choose between catching fish and shrimp and building a modern steel industry. Reports on Facebook say several hundred protesters marched in Ho Chi Minh City. However, state-controlled media have yet to report on any of the demonstrations. Social media and witnesses said protests also took place in central Vietnam last Friday. They said fishermen threw fish on a road after failing to sell their catch. The Reuters news service could not confirm the incident. On Saturday, the government ordered the Trade and Agriculture Ministries to help buy seafood caught during deep-sea fishing.
In March, President Barack Obama nominated Judge Merrick Garland to the U.S. Supreme Court, but Democratic and Republican lawmakers continue to disagree about whether Obama's nomination should be considered. Christopher Jones-Cruz has more.
President Obama nominated Judge Merrick Garland to replace Justice Antonin Scalia, who died in February. Garland is currently an appeals court judge for the District of Columbia. Patrick Leahy is the senior Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee, which examines nominations of federal judges. He has been in the Senate longer than any current senator. He said, "We need to do our job and debate and vote on the nomination." Orrin Hatch has been in the Senate longer than any current Republican. He is also a member of the Judiciary Committee. He says the Senate does not approve a nominee just because a president wants that person to be on the Supreme Court. He and other Republicans believe Scalia should not be replaced until a new president is sworn in next January. But the Constitution does not limit when, in a president's term, he can make a nomination. On Tuesday, Hatch said, "Conducting a heated, divisive confirmation fight in the middle of an ugly presidential election, and that certainly describes our presidential election season that is well underway, would do more harm than good." The disagreement about whether the Senate should consider a Supreme Court nominee in a presidential election year has caused a debate about what the U.S. Constitution requires the Senate to do. The document says the President shall nominate, and by and with the advice and consent of the Senate, shall appoint judges of the Supreme Court. Legal experts at the meeting also disagreed on what should take place. Martin Gold has served as a legal aide to several Republican senators. He said, "The Senate has a duty to consider a nominee, but how it exercises that duty is a matter of dispute." Jeffrey Blattner was a legal aide for Democratic Senator Edward Kennedy, who died in 2009. Blattner noted that in 1988, when the Senate was controlled by Democrats, it confirmed Anthony Kennedy to the Supreme Court during Ronald Reagan's last year as president. It was also a presidential election year. People at the meeting agreed that Republicans, who now control the Senate, can refuse for an unlimited period of time to replace a Supreme Court justice who resigns or dies. The Constitution does not limit the amount of time the Senate can take to act on nominations. But Leahy says, considering the nomination, even this late in Barack Obama's presidency, is something the Senate has a duty to do. He said it is also in the best interest of the country. But Hatch said, the Constitution leaves the judgment to senators to decide when and how, or even if, it should consider a judicial nomination. I'm Christopher Jones-Cruz.
More and more people from China are buying homes, buildings, and other property in foreign countries. Some countries in Europe are offering deals to encourage Chinese people to buy more property there. Mario Ritter has this story.
Chinese buyers are increasing their search for real estate around the world, although government restrictions limit the movement of money out of China. Some European countries have offered Chinese buyers visa programs linked to buying property. Greece and Cyprus offer residency for 3 generations of family members. Spain and Portugal are offering 5-year residency permits. Those countries are attempting to access a share of a real estate market with an estimated value of $25 billion. They are also competing with the United States and Australia for real estate business. Chinese real estate buyers have bought a lot of property in the United States and Australia in past years. However, Australia's government on Friday blocked the sale of a large ownership share of S. Kidman and Company to a group of Chinese companies, according to Reuters news agency. S. Kidman and Company is the country's largest private landholder. The Chinese government has increased its efforts to stop the flow of money out of the country. The People's Bank of China recently restricted money taken out of automated teller machines from Chinese bank branches in Western countries. The bank did this because Chinese tourists often leave behind unused money in foreign cities. The Chinese tourists leave funds in case they return. The high rate of property buying in 2015 shows that Chinese buyers have been spending more than the limit of money permitted by the Chinese government's rules. China limits foreign money transfers to $50,000 a year. Chinese property buyers increased their purchases by an estimated 30% in 2015, according to the company Savills Research China. Office building sellers have also noticed an increase in Chinese buying. One property consultant company, Global Capital Markets, estimated a 46% increase in commercial property sales to Chinese clients. Chinese buyers also are exploring new property markets. One is in the Middle East. Dubai is part of the United Arab Emirates. Chinese interest in Dubai's property market has been high in recent years. Yusuf Kazim is Chief Executive Officer of Jumeirah Gulf Estates in Dubai. He said, "Interest in Dubai's real estate from China is already on the up, with interest said to have surged 1,200% year-on-year in August 2015. He added that, "We see huge potential to market in China. There is a growing affluent and wealthy population seeking to internationalize a share of their assets." An important reason Chinese buy property in foreign countries is their desire to leave China now or in the future. Some want to move their children to provide them with educations at Western colleges or universities. Chinese migration is at an all-time high, so they are a majority of our clients, said Christian Numa, director of Amity Property Group, based in Melbourne, Australia. Getting foreign buyers to purchase real estate has become very competitive. Several European countries like Portugal, Spain, Greece, and Cyprus offer long-term residency permits to investors who buy houses or a commercial property. Bobby O'Reilly, a real estate company manager in Portugal, said a large number of foreign investors who have used Portugal's visa program are Chinese. The minimum investment requirement is €280,000 for a golden visa and entry into Portugal, O'Reilly said. The United States continues to be the main place for Chinese property buyers. However, some realtors say there are few good properties available and very little new construction is taking place. A good part of the property is already held by the Chinese, who do not sell. They like to hold property long term. That is why there are few properties available for sale in the market these days, explained Fred Lamb, president of Dragon One USA, a real estate company in California. During the past 2 years, NBC News reports that Chinese investment in property has increased in Detroit, Michigan. The Associated Press reports that foreign buyers make up only a small part of the housing market in the U.S. However, in cities such as New York, San Francisco, Seattle, Chicago, and Irvine, California, foreign buyers, including Chinese ones, have influenced the market. I'm Mario Ritter.
An American library is giving children a new way to learn important life skills by combining art projects with traditional school subjects like mathematics and science. The program is called STEAMtivity. It is offered at a public library in Alexandria, Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C. Diana Price is the head of youth services at the library.
STEAMtivity is a program that combines STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts and math, and creativity. They involve different technologies such as Lego Mindstorms robots and some more kind of low-tech arts-focused programs such as Make Your Own Musical Instrument.
Diana Price added that most of her library's non-traditional programs are open-ended. This means the children can create any kind of product they want and take the path to creating that product any way they want. This model makes failure impossible, she said. It also makes children feel sure of their abilities, so they feel better about science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. The library received money for the program from the American Library Association and the Walt Disney Company. On a recent day, a group of children, ages 8 to 12, gathered in a room at the Alexandria Library. The boys and girls used small straws to build structures. The straws connect to each other to form designs. Michael Geisinger is a 4th grade student. He likes the exercises.
I like them because they're very creative. There's no instructions. You can do it really your own way. You don't have to do this or that. You just do it your own way.
At first, Michael wanted to build a house with his straws, but he later decided to create a spaceship instead. Michael's mother says he and her other children are taught at home, not at school. She says that at the library, they enjoy learning things with materials not found at home.
And it gives them the opportunity to use their creativity and their imagination to come up with different ideas, things to do.
Another student, 2nd grader Munira Khalif, said she also created something different than first planned.
I first made the flower, and then I thought I should make a sun because I like how the sun goes on top of the flower.
The program is part of the Alexandria Library's effort to serve immigrants and poor families in the community. Somali immigrant Mohammed Khalif said his 2 daughters could not wait to come back to the library for more activities.
It opens their eyes and makes them think out of the box and do something that they normally don't do at home or playground.
Price says the program lets children work independently and as a team, helping them learn skills they will be able to use for the rest of their lives. I'm Kathleen Struck.
This is What's Trending Today. Do you know who Craig Wright is? Have you ever heard of Satoshi Nakamoto? Well, if you are a Twitter user, you probably saw both of those names trending on Monday. But who are they? Craig Wright is an entrepreneur, someone who invests in businesses from Australia. Satoshi Nakamoto is not a real person, but Satoshi Nakamoto is the name many people have used when talking about the person who started the electronic currency called Bitcoin. People have tried for years to find out the real person behind Bitcoin. But on Monday, Craig Wright told 3 media organizations that he was the founder of Bitcoin. During the meeting with the BBC, Wright did something that no one else but a person involved in the creation of Bitcoin could do. He used something called a cryptographic key to sign some documents. Some people who are Bitcoin experts are saying they believe Wright is the person who invented the currency, but others, like The Economist, have said questions remain about Wright's claim. When they were introduced in 2009, Bitcoins were worth just a few pennies each. Now the price of 1 Bitcoin is over $400. Wright said he went public about his identity because hiding was becoming too stressful. Many people and media organizations are still looking for more details before they believe Wright's claim. And that's what's trending today. I'm Dan Friedel.
From VOA Learning English, this is the Health and Lifestyle Report. Here in the United States, there is a saying, diversity is the spice of life. This means that having a nice, healthy mix of people, thoughts, and experiences can make your life more interesting and, well, spicy. Spices do the same with our meals. Every country uses spices to make cooking distinct. Centuries ago, some spices were quite valuable. They were used as currency throughout the world. These days, most spices are reasonably priced and easy to find in stores, but they are still extremely valuable when it comes to keeping us healthy. As with many traditional or natural cures, there is little scientific evidence to prove that spices have healing qualities. The U.S. National Institutes of Health says it is possible that spices have health benefits, but there is not enough strong evidence to confirm such claims. However, it does not hurt anything to add a few spices to your diet. So here are 4 of the healthiest and tastiest spices. Number 1, ginger. From India to Japan to China, ginger is popular in many food dishes. Ginger has a hot, fragrant flavor. You can add ground ginger to many dishes, baked products, and smoothies or other thick drinks. You can grate fresh ginger root, adding the small pieces to your favorite dishes. Candied ginger is a popular treat in many countries. Besides tasting great, ginger helps the body in many ways. Researchers have studied the anti-inflammatory qualities of ginger. An anti-inflammatory reduces swelling, the enlargement of a body part, often resulting from a buildup of fluid. So ginger may help reduce pain in muscles and joints after you exercise. Thai researchers found that healthy middle-aged women who took a ginger supplement every day for 2 months improved their mental ability. These women had a greater attention span and scored higher on memory tests than women who took a harmless substance or placebo. Ginger is a well-known cure for nausea, motion sickness, and pregnancy-related health disorders. There is some evidence that ginger might help cure joint and muscle pain, and drinking tea with ginger root can reduce sore throat pain. Number 2, turmeric. Turmeric is the main spice in curry and a relative of ginger. As a traditional medicine, many cultures use turmeric to fight depression, liver disease, and skin disorders. This information comes from the U.S. National Institutes for Health. There is no hard and fast proof that spices fight disease, but the NIH says there is research showing that turmeric has helped patients with arthritis and indigestion, or heartburn. Some Indian researchers claim that a chemical in turmeric, called curcumin, can slow or stop the growth of tumor cells. They say it can also suppress enzymes that activate cancer-causing agents. Number 3, cumin. 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds can supply 22% of your daily requirement for iron. Iron helps keep your energy levels high and strengthens the body's natural defenses against disease. According to early research, cumin may also improve your brain power. In an animal study, cumin extract was shown to improve performance on memory tests. Cumin may help people with diabetes by keeping their blood sugar level in check. It may also have powerful germ-fighting qualities. Number 4, cinnamon. Cinnamon is a common spice. It adds a warm, sweet taste to both sweet and savory dishes. There are 2 main kinds of cinnamon. Ceylon cinnamon is considered by many to be true cinnamon, and it can be very pricey. Cassia cinnamon, or Chinese cinnamon, generally costs less than Ceylon cinnamon. This is the kind that we put on top of coffee or hot chocolate. Cinnamon is also found in many baked goods here in the United States. According to the National Institutes of Health, cinnamon has been used as a spice and traditional herbal medicine for centuries. The NIH website says there is research to suggest that cinnamon, like cumin, may lower blood sugar levels in people with type 2 diabetes. Cinnamon may also reduce cholesterol levels, help to reduce inflammation, and kill germs that cause disease. These are only 4 of the many spices used around the world to flavor our food and possibly keep us healthy. I'm Anna Mateo.
And that's our program for today. Listen again tomorrow to learn English through stories from around the world. I'm Jonathan Evans.
And I'm Ashley Thompson.